Hey everyone, it's me, it's BDevine. I hope that this finds you awesome wherever you are. I was sitting this morning and I felt an urgency to make a video for you all. I always follow my calling. So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about trust. One of the biggest things in the journey is having trust in the spiritual realms to assist you. And this comes up in so many different ways. So if you don't have trust in your life because of the betrayals that you've had from people, your past situations, your upbringing, okay, then it's going to be really difficult for you to unlock your skills and abilities because of the trust energy. When you don't have the feeling that you can trust the divine, when you don't have the feeling that you can trust yourself and what you're experiencing, okay, you are allowing a negative energy to spiral around you and keep you in those lower realms. Right now, so many people are becoming even more frustrated at the politics of the world and the situations that are going on. And so in this frustration, they are using this and going onto all social media platforms and expressing outrage and stressing out and all of the rest of it. And we've kind of had enough of this over the years, of people who are really, really showing their frustration and letting the negative take a hold, right? And thinking that it's coming from a good place. This comes into play when there is a frustration of not being able to control an outcome and fearing the worst in a person, in a leader, in the divine, whatever it is. And going through this fear, it can come out in multiple ways. It can come out in argument, right? Or having to project your opinion out there, or argue with others on social media, or feel that inner frustration and turmoil inside, how it's not fair, feel fearful of the future because of whatever it is that's going on around you, or, you know, the leadership, or whatever it is that you don't like. And every single time we feel that we need to express frustration or anger, it's really actually our own fears that are being projected. And this is actually something that you lose power from every single time. In my work, and this is my life work, it is built around mastery, self-mastery. It's not built around someone else's ideas of mastery. It's always built around many different things that I feel are correct. And then I go in to my own meditation and channel more information. Every single time, the focus has been on peace, on growth, on self-mastery, as I said, and of trust, okay? When you have self-mastery, it means that as hard as it can be sometimes, and you know how imperfect you can be sometimes, doesn't matter. What matters is that you recognize your energy and where it's leaving you. I always say to you, what's worth your time, what's worth your energy, okay? The politics, the news, the presidents or the prime ministers, or the arguments between them, is that really worth your time and energy? Or could you use it to focus on the best outcomes for all involved, regardless of what you think someone has done or might do, or whatever it is for you? Like, there are people that have opinions that are far out there, and some people who don't have opinions that are far out there or don't have anything at all and still get picked on, right? So it's all about your focus. It's not about your words so much as it is your actions, right? As they always say, actions speak louder than words. Okay. So if your actions are trying to be peaceful, right? Trying to have trust, right? Trying to have faith, but then expressing fears all the time, expressing old things all of the time, arguing with someone online, going in and giving your opinions when perhaps they weren't asked for, right? It's a waste of your time and energy when that could be used to focus instead on a higher outcome for all, a peaceful outcome, that something happens to blend the energy in a more peaceful, proactive, beautiful way. If you don't trust in the abilities of spirit, okay, then you need to develop reasons and look at yourself with reasoning as to where that energy has leaked from you, what has caused it, and why is it continuing in your life. You know that when you don't trust, for example, your partner, okay, say you don't trust your partner, the relationship basically ends because there's nothing there. Like everything is like, how can you live your life with somebody that you don't trust? You're always going to be wondering, you're always going to be fearful, you're always going to be scared, right? So you end the relationship. What happens to people with their spiritual abilities is that they're not receiving, they're not getting the answers that they want. Life isn't giving them miracles all of the time, so they stop connecting. The reason that that happens, okay, is because they see spirit, they see God or God source, how I like to say. They see that as someone who is painfully difficult to please, okay? They see that as someone who is dishing out the life punishment, someone who is creating problems. So they disassociate themselves, but yet they want to be connected with their spirit guides and their angels and their healing abilities, right? But they've disconnected themselves from receiving because they feel that what they receive from God's source is negative, judgmental, rejection, when actually those things have come from influential people in your life, not from God's source, but from individual people and influential people in your life. These people have been in your life, okay, as a catalyst for change for you. They have been nasty. They have been a narcissist. They have been evil. They have been abusive. It might be your parents. It might be family members. It might be partners, right? Friends, whatever. They have betrayed you. They have upset you. They have hurt you in so many ways, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is. They have ridiculed you. This has not come from God. This has not come from source. This has not come from your spiritual light team, but instead has come from lessons that you asked for in your blueprint of life, contracts that you made with every single individual in your life, family member, friend, whatever it is, foe, whoever it is. Every single person you've ever connected with, and including me, right, has a contract with you, something that you decided upon. Some people say, what the hell would I decide upon all of this for my life? Okay. When you are on the other side of the veil, before you have come and been born in this life, okay, this is when you create the patterns, the contracts, the connections with people that are the ones that are going to most likely help you to achieve mastery. Something, for example, in past lives, I have tried to teach so many times. I've tried to share so many times. I've done it in the wrong ways, done it in good ways. I've done it in religious ways, but I've tried to teach over and over and over again, right? I haven't been able to be successful by the end of my life with those teachings. Either something happened, I was killed, or I was ill, or I was taking everything on, or I was doing things in the wrong way and, you know, harmed myself. Whatever way it was, I didn't make what I wanted to do happen. So in this lifetime, created a series of events in my life that would force me to go in this direction. But let me tell you, there was a time when I could have gone exactly the opposite direction. It was very tempting to do so. And the reason it was tempting was because I had a lot of protection through people. I had a lot of money through this group. And it would have been a very easy way to live a life and to have monetary income, protection, and support. However, it wouldn't have led me to be able to teach, to share, to give information, to channel information, to guide people, and to bring myself into self-mastery. Because by bringing yourself into mastery, it's the only way that you can lead by example. It's the only way through going through trials and tribulations, stresses, changes, and evolving through those things. It's the only way you get stronger, okay? Through healing yourself, okay? It's the only way you get to the point where your abilities open more. Denying yourself, getting angry with God or source, whatever you want to call it, God source, getting angry with the universe for not giving you something that you really wanted or thought that you really wanted, or a person that you thought that you really wanted, or whatever. Getting angry in those situations blocks you every single time. We are an instrument here on this earth, supposed to be for peace, for healing, for love, self-love, okay? Teaching, growing, sharing, and being in an abundant, fulfilling, loving life, okay? And when there's all these things that come at you, all of these situations that continue to come up in your life, it's really, really hard to see how things are going to get better. And this is why I created the Academy. The Academy has been created to teach healers to heal properly, heal themselves, heal others, awaken their abilities, share it. You know, this world needs people to trust, not to doubt and to fear and to stress and to be frustrated all of the time, because that adds up. As a collective, it starts to have a ripple effect. And you can either have a positive ripple effect on this world, or you can have a negative one. Does it mean you have to be perfect? That's not what this is about. It doesn't mean that, oh, Becky's perfect, so that's why she gets all of this information. No, Becky works on everything constantly. I constantly practice what I'm preaching to you all. I have every single day where I do my grounding and connection. I do writing. I connect with people and help them and listen to them and counsel them and remove obstacles and show them what the obstacles are in their life and pull them out, get rid of them, to give them a life where they can find the ways in which they have the answers for everything. and without ego as well. Because there are plenty of people who start off being, doing things good, and then all of a sudden it goes to their head. And then you can see the negativity piling on, even in some of the things that they're saying. Now, there's one thing about being really strong and having really strong boundaries. That's fantastic. You've got to do that. You've got to do that with the expectation that people respect those boundaries. People respect you more, right? Because you are strong. But there are situations where there are people who will just give you all kinds of ridiculous information without teaching you how to really open the channels and connect for yourself. And when you're getting the right messages from the divine, okay, they are full of love and they are full of support. That is always the way. And they're not about giving people some kind of notion that they're the only one that can do this. This whole chosen people and all of this is ridiculous. It's dangerous. Okay, it puts people in a category of comparing all of the time or not being good enough once again. If you have worthiness issues, okay, of not being good enough, it will continue to be reflected to you through other people. Someone made a comment once about how when they're feeling really good about themselves, I'm just going to kind of condense the comment. When they're feeling really good about themselves, that's when someone will come out of the blue and give them a comment about something that they're insecure about. So when someone does that and it sparks something in you or triggers you, it's an unhealed aspect of yourself that although in one way you may feel that you've already dealt with, but in another way, it's still bothering you, and you have to look backwards as to why it bothers you so much and heal that aspect of yourself. Every single one of you needs to accept yourself for who you are. All your flaws, all your so-called failings, all of the things that have happened to you, all of the situations that have happened in your life have shaped you to where you are. If you don't trust in God's source, your spiritual light team, the universe, okay, you need to trace that back to where this non-trust began and get rid of whoever placed that there. Dissolve, dissolve, dissolve. No more. Someone from your past, there's some confirmation, someone from your past or parents or siblings or partners don't deserve to be in your happy life. They don't deserve to be in your future. They came, they taught, they left. Leave it at that. I often say to people, if you're still angry from your past relationships, if you're still frustrated, if you're still trying to get someone to be in trouble or found out or whatever it is that you're doing, you're the one that's still attached. You need to dissolve those cords. Someone recently asked me, how come this person keeps coming back and keeps coming back? And I was like, well, how come you're talking about them? You're still connected. We have to own stuff sometimes, you know? We have to own how we feel, what we're doing to create a situation. So everything revolves around trust, what we trust, who we trust, the energy that we're putting out, the energy that we're receiving, what we're willing to receive, what we're willing to heal, where we're willing to crack open some things and some habits and some situations and some people and all of this sort of stuff that are within us by doing the self-work so you can come into that mastery, so that healing will work for you, so that you're not blocking it with all of your worries and concerns and stresses and the world and Trump and whoever else you don't like, right? Who cares? In the bigger scheme of things, if we focus on the higher power, if we focus on a beautiful, peaceful, loving vibration, then we cannot get caught up in all of this stuff. Politics and religion ruin too many friendships, relationships, and connections. Too many people are divided by this. We've had it in our own family, right? So it's ridiculous. The judgment that is placed upon people, it's not something that you want to receive. I don't think anybody likes it if someone judges them. Oh, you're spiritual and you do cards. Oh, cuckoo. Because there's a group of people that are cuckoo that do cards and spiritual, and they do it in a bad way. So everybody's lumbered in that circle, right? Does anybody like that kind of judgment? For me, I couldn't care less anymore because someone's wasting their energy on me. Like, why would I waste my energy back? If someone says, oh, you believe in, you're a Republican, so you're a weirdo, you know, does that affect you? Or a Democrat, so you're, blue haired or whatever. Does that affect you? Like, you're strange for what you believe in. Why does this affect you? Who cares? That's not the issue. Okay. The issue is getting this world into a peaceful place where we all can live. We can have all that freedom. And it's got to start with your mind. You can't cast judgment, okay, on whatever it is, and then think to yourself that you're upset when someone judges you. You have to be open and in your mastery of yourself. It's almost like you're walking this pathway alone. And if there are people that are happy and content and joyful and honest and working on themselves and healing themselves and not complaining every 5 minutes or pulling you down into, a darker energy, if they're all uplifting, they're going to find you. They're going to be there. For the most part, I've found that the smaller the circle, the stronger I can be within myself. Otherwise, I find myself distracted or constantly trying to lift, constantly trying to remind, constantly trying to help, because that's who I am as a soul. But I found, and you may be finding this as well, as you are lifting in your awareness, that less and less and less can you be around complainers and people who are negative and people who won't change anything no matter what, people who are staunch in their beliefs and parade it everywhere, or, talk nasty all the time. It just doesn't, it won't resonate with someone who's trying to heal. The other thing is about trusting this process and lifting yourself away, etc., is that you will open your own channels of truth. Okay? Channels of truth that come in are loving, they are kind, they are inspirational to you, helping you to lift yourself away from circumstances that was actually there as a help, not as a hindrance. Now, people can see things as a hindrance in their life and continue on with that as their pathway, where they'll say, poor me, all this shit happened to me. I just don't see how I can change it. I don't see how I can fix it. Now I've got health problems. Now I've got this. Now I've got that. Some people will stay feeling sorry for themselves and hoping that someone else will notice. They don't actually want to have help. That's the sad part. They actually like being in that energy. So even though they say that they don't, they actually like being in that energy. So I had to pause it for a second because an ad was coming up on my computer. So anyway, people stay in a position of being downtrodden. They constantly talk about it, okay? They come forward, they say that they want help, they want freedom, they want to be unblocked, but they refuse to actually look at themselves, so nothing happens. They refuse to put the effort in, and they expect that when they've asked for healing, that God source is going to miraculously pull all of the junk out of their life, right? And fix it once and for all for them. And an hour later, they can go on their merry way like nothing happened. That won't work if you don't understand why something is there in your life and have the tools to fix it. What will happen is a nice healing might take place. A week later, you're stuck in the same position, thinking that it didn't work, and okay, doesn't work because it's me. There's something wrong with me. And the cycle continues. So there are some people who will never, ever, ever move into a healed reality, and that's actually their choice. That's actually their choice. And there are some people, maybe family members or whatever, who will never fully understand on an earthly plane what it is that you're trying to achieve. They think it's crazy, they think it's weird, yet you're in a position of development, healing, you look great, right? You're losing weight or gaining weight, whatever it is for you. Your body's balanced, you've healed yourself of all of these things, but yet there's something wrong with your life. And other people who are constantly criticizing and angry and stress have all the health problems and concerns. They have all kinds of health issues. They're not happy, and it has a ripple effect, right? So no matter what anyone thinks, you don't have to explain yourself either. What anybody thinks is what they think. It's what they believe. It's how they are doing things in their life. And that's okay. We just let everybody have their journey. When you're wanting more for yourself, you're trying to manifest. You won't be able to manifest if you don't trust the universe to deliver, not always in exactly the way that you think. Okay? We have to be open to a myriad of ways in which your manifestation can come in. If you don't trust, you won't see that. If you don't trust, you will block yourself. Everybody blocks themselves. It's not 90% of the time, it's not something else on the outside that's blocking you. It's you. 10% of the time, there can be energetic interferences or things that you're carrying from other lifetimes or other people's projections upon you. Spells and hexes and curses and things like that only exist if you believe in them, right? It only exists if you believe in them, meaning that you're amplifying energy at it by thinking about it, right? If we amplify the energy of fear, that's what we receive. And we can spiral down and create things into our reality that are fearful. Okay. About remaining positive and resetting. Remaining positive and resetting. Having a look at your attitudes towards these things. Ask yourself, is this really worth my time? And checking out all of this stuff here that I don't like on social media. So if you don't like something, why would you give it any attention? Because it amplifies it. See what I mean? If you don't like the fact that you're not getting something, the more that you think that you're not getting it, the more that you're amplifying it. And the more that you don't like, okay, the more that there's hate or the more that there's frustration, the more that this is amplified as well. And it's a simple thing, like it's a simple cause and effect, right? And, you know, the magnetic pull and all of this stuff, you know, what you're thinking about, you're bringing about into your life. So if you're thinking about politics and the news and who you hate and who you believe in and what country, this and that, and money going here and there and tariffs and and all the stuff, right, that's just circulating around, getting us all worked up. Think higher. There's no way that anyone can fix anything by hating on it. You see? There's no way. So I'm always going to call for peace, even if nobody else is doing that. Right? Peace. It starts within you and it costs nothing, and you can buy into it at any time. Anytime. You can eliminate all of that worry, all of that attention on all of the things like that, and lift out of it. And guess what? Something that has no attention, it's like a big old bully. When you don't give the bully attention, it goes away. It diminishes its power. That's like, unfortunately, the Christians go on and on and on and on about the devil. They say that the devil disguises itself in light, and therefore all the readings and all the things like that are evil. They're talking about the devil all of the time, amplifying his negative power and pressing that negativity out into the world. So I just keep on continuing with my messages, uplifting, reaffirming positivity, whether I use cards or whether I do not use cards. I know that I'm protected, and I know that God or source is love, and that is what is projected. So whether someone who's religious hates it, can't stand it, and needs to tell me, I just let them waste their energy on that, because I don't want to focus on the power of negativity. I want to focus on the power of positivity. And as I've said to all of you, go in a dark room. What do? You turn on the light. What happens? The whole room lights up, extinguishes the darkness. If you understand you are a powerful, sovereign being of light or being of God or whatever you want to say, then you must amplify the power of light, okay, the power of positivity, and command in your life that that's what you are focusing on all of the time, that you're protected. So if you're protected, how can any negativity get in anyway? Unless you spiral yourself down into it and attach yourself into it. So we're protected when we do this work, okay? We are filled with cosmic light. We are connected with God, with Source. We love Jesus and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and Moses and all of them, right? We have loving connections with the Ascended Masters. We have loving connections with the earth energies and the deities and the gods and goddesses of old and new. We have nothing but this love vibration. So what do we amplify? Love. If you can't trust what were you told to do, have a look at why. Where does it come from? Once you release those issues of fears, okay, of persecution, of judgment, all of those things that you feel that you're going to get from others if they find out, you know, that you're living this life, right? Reject all of that stuff as well. What if instead you focused on this, that when you are living your life authentically, you draw towards you authentic people, places, and situations, and loving situations continue. instead of, well, if people find out what I do, they're going to think this, they're going to think that. Instead, change your expectations. That's how much power you actually have. If you have trust issues, this will come up in relationships with other people as well, where you won't believe your partner to be true because you might have been betrayed in the past. You won't believe that when they tell you they love you, because how could they love you because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G? You won't believe that they're really going to stay because you felt that you were secure in a relationship before and the person left, right? Heal the past so that you don't ruin the future unnecessarily as well. There are deeper and deeper and deeper things that it's pretty easy to get into. You know, this is why I love doing therapies with people, talking with you and listening to you and really hearing what you're saying. With my spiritual consultations and healing consultations, what we do is we have a phone call and I take notes the whole time. And then I write for you a huge healing consultation, which is based on psychology and spirituality all blending together. The things that I noticed, how this is affecting you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and how we can sort of work on this together. Because sometimes you think in your life that a little thing is not the thing. And I can tell you that little overlooked thing, it happens in every single case that I've worked on. Every single case that there is something small or something that the person deems to be insignificant, and it is the major thorn in the person's side, the major crack in their auric field. And it just seems so silly, so they've ignored it. And that is where this energy can weave its way in. So if you want a healing consultation, they are available through my website. In fact, there's all kinds of things available at my website. And also free courses available at my Teachable site. And you can even become a member and have access to many different courses all at once for a very low price per month, which I found, you know, people can find that easier. So this message to you today was all about trust, okay? Where you feel that you lack trust in your life. Why you're letting that become something that really begins to amplify. So the lack of something amplifies, just like, you know, the positive begins to amplify as well. Make a choice here of that which you want. Don't get yourself confused with reasons. Don't waste your time trying to find out the motives of other people, right? Instead, individualize your life as something that is unique for you, and you will start to unravel bit by bit aspects that you've never dreamed of as possible for you as well. So I will continue to be here. I'm on all social media at Divine Miracles, and my website is BDevineonline.com. I really, really hope that you will start to understand yourself, okay, and grow in your own self-mastery. And keep an eye out, because I will be adding some extra things. I won't tell you what they all are yet, but it's exciting. And I thank each one of you for being here and hanging in here. And yeah, I will talk to you all really, really soon. Sending so much love. Bye for now.